Shalom, I'm Jay Rawlings, and in today's Fact or Fantasy, I'd like to discuss Israel's peculiar position. Now, you've heard it said that the Jews are a peculiar people. Well, Israel is a peculiar nation. Things permitted to other nations are forbidden to the Jews. For example, other nations drive out thousands, even millions of people, and there's no refugee problem. Russia did it, Poland and Czechoslovakia did it, Turkey threw out 1 million Greeks, Algeria threw out 1 million Frenchmen, Indonesia threw out heaven knows how many Chinese, and no one says a word about refugees. But in the case of Israel, the displaced Arabs have become eternal refugees, as have their descendants. Now, everyone insists that Israel must take back every single Arab. Arnold Toynbee calls the displacement of the Arabs an atrocity greater than that committed by the Nazis. And when other nations are victorious on the battlefield, they dictate peace terms. But when Israel's victorious, it must sue for peace. Everyone expects the Jews to be the only real Christians in the world. Other nations, when they are defeated, survive and recover. But should Israel be defeated, it would be destroyed. For example, had Nasser from Egypt triumphed over Israel in 1967, he would have wiped Israel off the face of the map, just as President of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, is calling for today. No one would have lifted a finger to save the Jews back in '67, and it seems that any commitment to the Jews by any government, including the U.S., is not worth the paper that it's written on. The Jews are alone in the world. If Israel survives, it will be solely because of Jewish efforts, resources, and ingenuity. Yet at this moment, Israel, and I'm quoting Eric Hoffer, is our only really reliable and unconditional ally for the United States of America. And we can rely more on Israel than Israel can rely on us. One has only to imagine what would have happened had the Arabs, aided by the Russians, won in the Six-Day War of 1967, to realize how vital the survival of Israel is to America and to the West in general. Now, to quote this author, Eric Hoffer, he said, "I have a premonition that will not go away. And that is, as it goes with Israel, so it will go with all of us. Should Israel perish, the Holocaust will be upon us. Some things just never change." Eric Hoffer wrote these words 35 years ago in the Los Angeles Times on the 26th of May, 1968. Now, he was a non-Jewish American social philosopher who wrote 9 books and won the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you, Eric Hoffer, for bringing us up to date. Seems like things never change in the Middle East. This is Jay Rawlings reporting to you for Fact or Fantasy.